Hello to everyone. Today we are going to learn about oxidation of fatty acids. Fatty acid oxidation is the major source of energy for ATP synthesis in human beings. You know very well, oxidation of 1 gram of fat provides 9 kilocalories, whereas oxidation of 1 gram of carbohydrate and 1 gram of protein provide 4 kilocalories each. So, fat acts as a concentrated storage form of energy. Fatty acids are oxidized by most of the tissues of the body like liver, heart, muscle, kidney, testes and adipose tissue. But brain, adrenal medulla and RBCs do not utilize fatty acid for energy purpose. So, before proceeding to fatty acid oxidation, you must know what are the fatty acids. Fatty acids are aliphatic carboxylic acids having general structural formula RCOOH. Here COOH is carboxylic group which is nothing but functional group, whereas R is hydrocarbon chain of varying length. To understand fatty acid oxidation and its various types, you must know numbering and naming of carbon atoms present in the fatty acids. Fatty acids are numbered referring to carboxylic group. Carbon of carboxyl group is called number 1 carbon, whereas adjacent carbons to the left are numbered as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. Naming of carbon atom is done by two ways, one according to terminal carboxyl group and one according to terminal methyl group. In reference to terminal carboxyl group, carbon present at the position 2, which is adjacent to terminal carboxyl group, is called alpha carbon. Carbon present at the position 3 is called beta carbon. Carbon present at the position 4 is referred to as gamma carbon, whereas carbon present at the 5th and 6th position are referred to as delta and epsilon carbon. In reference to terminal methyl group, when carbon present at the terminal methyl group is referred to as omega carbon. Adjacent carbons present to the terminal methyl group, which is omega 1 carbon, are referred to as omega 2, omega 3, omega 4, omega 5 carbon atoms like that. In this way, numbering and naming of carbon atom is very essential that you should understand before proceeding to fatty acid oxidation. Now we can see different types of fatty acid oxidation. The most important one is beta oxidation. Apart from beta oxidation, there are other types of fatty acid oxidation like odd chain fatty acid oxidation, unsaturated fatty acid oxidation, alpha oxidation, omega oxidation and very long chain fatty acid oxidation, which is also called peroxisomal oxidation. Fatty acids are oxidized mainly by a process called beta oxidation. Why this process is called beta oxidation? Because the oxidation and splitting of two carbon units in the form of acetyl coenzyme A occur at the beta carbon. In this process, hydrocarbon chain oxidation occurs by sequential cleavage of two carbon atoms. You can see here structure of fatty acid with its numbering and naming. Two carbon units are removed at the position between 2 and 3, and in this way beta oxidation of fatty acid involves removal of two carbon units. There are three steps of beta oxidation of fatty acid. Number 1, activation of fatty acid to acyl coenzyme A. Number 2, transfer of acyl coenzyme A from cytosol to mitochondria by carnitine transport system. Number 3, reactions of beta oxidation in mitochondria. Fatty acid is activated to acyl coenzyme A in the cytosol by the action of enzyme acyl CoA synthetase or thiokinase. This reaction requires ATP and coenzyme A. This reaction occurs in two steps. First, the fatty acid reacts with ATP to form acyl adenylate. In this reaction, AMP is retained in a bound form to fatty acid and other two phosphoryl groups are released as pyrophosphate. Next, sulfhydryl group of Coenzyme A attacks acyl adenylate to displace AMP and forms acyl coenzyme A. Pyrophosphate released in the first reaction is rapidly hydrolyzed to inorganic phosphates, and because of that this reaction becomes irreversible. Here you should keep it in mind that only one ATP molecule takes part in the reaction, but two high energy phosphates are expended. And this is the only step in complete degradation of fatty acid that requires energy from ATP. There are three acyl-CoA synthetase or thiokinase, one each for short chain, medium chain and long chain fatty acids. Step 2 is transport of fatty acids into the mitochondria. Fatty acids are activated in the cytoplasm, but the reactions of beta oxidation occur in the mitochondria. So transport of fatty acids through the mitochondrial membrane is essential. The long chain fatty acyl coenzyme A cannot pass through the inner mitochondrial membrane. Therefore, a transporter carnitine acyltransferase enzyme is required for the transfer of fatty acids. What is carnitine? Carnitine is beta hydroxy gamma trimethyl ammonium butyrate. It is synthesized from lysine and methionine in liver and kidney. You can see the structure of carnitine here. Carnitine is having 4 carbon atoms, that's why it is called butyrate. There is a hydroxyl group present on the beta carbon, which is a 3rd carbon, and 3 methyl groups are present on the nitrogen, which is there on gamma carbon. That's why this structure is called as beta hydroxy gamma trimethyl ammonium butyrate. This slide shows transfer of acyl coenzyme A by carnitine acyltransferase 1 and 2 enzyme. Carnitine acyltransferase 1 enzyme is present on outer mitochondrial membrane, whereas carnitine acyltransferase 2 enzyme is present on inner membrane. Carnitine acyltransferase 1 catalyzes the transfer of acyl group from acyl coenzyme A to carnitine to release coenzyme A into the cytosol. The fatty acyl carnitine diffuses freely through the intermembrane space through the pores of outer membrane. The conjugate is then translocated across the inner mitochondrial membrane into the matrix through transporter, which is also called translocase. Carnitine acyltransferase 2 in the inner mitochondrial membrane catalyzes the transfer of acyl group to coenzyme A drawn from the matrix coenzyme A pool to release carnitine. The free carnitine is reverse translocated to the intermembrane space to complete the shuttle action of translocase. Up till now, you studied the activation of fatty acid into fatty acyl coenzyme A by the action of enzyme fatty acyl coenzyme A synthetase or thiokinase. This reaction occurs in cytoplasm. For this reaction, ATP is utilized. After the formation of fatty acyl coenzyme A, it is transported to mitochondria by the mitochondrial carnitine transporter system. Once the acyl coenzyme A is inside the mitochondrial matrix, it undergoes 4 reactions sequentially for complete oxidation of fatty acid. After one round of 4 metabolic reactions, one acetyl coenzyme A unit is split off and acyl coenzyme A with 2 carbon atom less is generated. This would undergo the same series of reaction again and again until the fatty acid is completely oxidized. Now we will see step 1, beta oxidation reaction proper, that is FAD linked dehydrogenase reaction. This is oxidation reaction. In this reaction, the fatty acyl coenzyme A is dehydrogenated to trans-enoyl coenzyme A with the FAD accepting the hydrogen atoms. FADH2 when oxidized in electron transport chain will produce 1.5 ATP molecules. You can see the reaction here. Fatty acyl coenzyme A, we are taking it here as a palmitoyl coenzyme A. This palmitoyl coenzyme A undergoes oxidation by the action of enzyme acyl coenzyme A dehydrogenase. In this reaction, hydrogen present at the alpha and beta carbon is removed and transferred to FAD. FAD is reduced to FADH2, and the product which is formed in this reaction is trans delta 2 enoyl coenzyme A. There is presence of a double bond between alpha and beta carbon. So this is an unsaturated fatty acid which is known as trans delta 2 enoyl coenzyme A. Step 2 reaction is hydration reaction. In this reaction, there is incorporation of water molecule to the substrate. This reaction is catalyzed by an enoyl coenzyme A hydratase enzyme. This step forms a beta hydroxy fatty acyl coenzyme A. In this reaction, the L isomer alone is formed during the hydration of the trans double bond. In this reaction, trans delta 2 enoyl coenzyme A undergoes hydration by the action of enzyme enoyl coenzyme A hydratase to form a product known as L-beta hydroxyacyl coenzyme A. In this reaction, hydrogen group is added to the alpha carbon and OH group is added to the beta carbon. Because of the presence of hydroxyl group at the beta carbon, the product is named as L-beta hydroxy acyl coenzyme A. Step 3 reaction is NAD dependent dehydrogenase reaction, which is nothing but again oxidation reaction. In this reaction, the beta hydroxy fatty acyl coenzyme A is again oxidized to form beta keto fatty acyl coenzyme A. This dehydrogenase acts only on L isomer. The NADH which is formed in this reaction when oxidized in electron transport chain will generate 2.5 ATPs. In this oxidation reaction, L-beta hydroxy acyl coenzyme A undergoes oxidation by the action of enzyme beta hydroxyacyl coenzyme A dehydrogenase, and there leads to formation of a product known as beta ketoacyl coenzyme A. In this reaction, there is a removal of 2 hydrogen molecules from the beta carbon which will get added to NAD, and that leads to the formation of NADH plus H. Because of removal of 2 molecules of hydrogen from the beta carbon, there leads to formation of keto group at the beta carbon, and that's why the product is referred to as beta keto acyl coenzyme A. In the next step, that is step 4 cleavage reaction, the beta ketoacyl coenzyme A now undergoes thiolytic cleavage, splitting of a molecule of acetyl coenzyme A and leaving behind a fatty acid with 2 carbon atom less. In this reaction, beta ketoacyl coenzyme A undergoes breakdown by the action of enzyme acyl coenzyme A acetyl transferase, which is also known as thiolase, to form a product known as acetyl coenzyme A and fatty acyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is having 2 carbon atom in its structure, whereas acyl coenzyme A, which is formed, is having 2 carbon units less as compared to its initial substrate. In this reaction, myristyl coenzyme A is formed, which is having 14 carbon in its structure. This myristyl coenzyme A is formed from palmityl coenzyme A, which is having 16 carbon in its structure. Newly formed fatty acyl coenzyme A will sequentially undergo further cycles of steps 1, 2, 3, 4 of beta oxidation repeatedly again and again until the fatty acid is completely converted to acetyl coenzyme A. You can see here the substrate palmityl coenzyme A undergoes beta oxidation, and through 4 steps, that is oxidation, hydration, oxidation and thiolysis, it forms 2 products, acetyl coenzyme A and myristyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is having 2 carbon units which are removed from palmityl coenzyme A. Myristyl coenzyme A is a fatty acyl coenzyme A which is having 2 carbon units less than palmityl coenzyme A. Palmityl coenzyme is having 16 carbon units, whereas myristyl coenzyme A is having 14 carbon units. This myristyl coenzyme A again undergoes beta oxidation 6 more times. Same reaction goes on repeating again and again, that is oxidation, hydration, oxidation and thiolysis. And during each round there is a release of one acetyl CoA molecule and one fatty acyl molecule having 2 carbon units less. So after total 7 cycles, palmitoyl coenzyme A undergoes complete breakdown or complete oxidation to form 8 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. In this slide, you can see the complete oxidation of 16 carbon saturated fatty acid, that is palmitic acid. During each cycle of beta oxidation of palmitic acid, there leads to release of 1 molecule of acetyl coenzyme A. During 7 cycles of beta oxidation of palmitic acid, there lead to release of 8 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. In each cycle of beta oxidation, the products formed are FADH2, NADH plus H and acetyl coenzyme A. Out of these products, FADH2 and NADH plus H undergo oxidative phosphorylation and produce 1.5 ATPs and 2.5 ATPs respectively. Acetyl coenzyme A, when undergoes oxidation in TCA cycle, it produces 10 ATPs. So total number of ATPs generated in each cycle of beta oxidation are 14. When palmitoyl coenzyme A undergoes 7 cycles of beta oxidation, it produces 8 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A, 7 molecules of FADH2 and 7 molecules of NADH plus H. 8 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A undergo oxidation in TCA cycle and produce 80 ATPs. 7 molecules of FADH2 in oxidative phosphorylation produce 10.5 ATPs, whereas 7 molecules of NADH in oxidative phosphorylation produce 17.5 ATPs. So complete oxidation of palmitic acid generates 108 ATPs. But out of these 108 ATPs, 2 ATPs are already spent in the initial activation reaction for the conversion of fatty acid to acyl coenzyme A. So net yield is 106 ATPs. When you compare this yield with the oxidation of 1 molecule of glucose, you can see in oxidation of 1 molecule of glucose generates 32 ATPs. So this clearly indicates that fatty acid oxidation yields more storable energy, or you can say fat acts as a concentrated storage form of energy. Now we'll see the regulation of beta oxidation of fatty acids. Rate limiting step in beta oxidation of fatty acid is formation of fatty acyl carnitine catalyzed by carnitine acyl transferase 1 enzyme. Carnitine acyl transferase 1 is allosteric enzyme and it is inhibited by malonyl coenzyme A. If you are remembering, malonyl coenzyme A is initial substrate required for fatty acid biosynthesis. It is formed from acetyl coenzyme A by the action of enzyme acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase. So when malonyl coenzyme A level is more, there leads to inhibition of carnitine acyl transferase 1 enzyme and decreased beta oxidation. In well-fed state, malonyl coenzyme A level increases, which inhibits carnitine acyl transferase 1 enzyme and decreases beta oxidation, which we already discussed. In starvation, insulin glucagon ratio is less, so acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase enzyme is inhibited, and because of that concentration of malonyl coenzyme A decreases, and because of decreased malonyl coenzyme A concentration, inhibition of carnitine acyl transferase 1 enzyme is released, and there leads to increased activity of carnitine acyl transferase 1 enzyme, and there leads to more beta oxidation. After studying the beta oxidation of fatty acid in detail, now we'll see the differences between beta oxidation and fatty acid synthesis. First is location. Beta oxidation occurs in mitochondria, whereas cytoplasm is the site for fatty acid synthesis. Initial substrate for beta oxidation is acyl coenzyme A, whereas Acetyl coenzyme A and malonyl coenzyme A are the two initial substrates for fatty acid synthesis. The end product formed in beta oxidation is acetyl coenzyme A, whereas palmitic acid is the end product of fatty acid synthesis. Intermediates are bound to coenzyme A in beta oxidation, whereas in fatty acid synthesis, intermediates are bound to acyl carrier protein. In beta oxidation, coenzymes required are FAD and NAD. These coenzymes are reduced to FADH2 and NADH plus H, whereas in fatty acid synthesis, coenzymes required are NADPH. NADPH acts as a source of reducing equivalent. Transport system in beta oxidation is carnitine transport system, whereas in fatty acid synthesis it is citrate transport system. Carnitine is responsible for the transfer of acyl coenzyme A from cytosol to mitochondria, whereas citrate is responsible for the transport of acetyl coenzyme A from mitochondria to cytosol. Inhibitor of beta oxidation is malonyl coenzyme A, whereas long chain acyl coenzyme A is inhibitor in fatty acid synthesis. Highest activity of beta oxidation is observed in fasting and starvation, whereas fatty acid synthesis is observed after high carbohydrate diet. Enzymes of beta oxidations are individual in nature, whereas enzymes working in fatty acid synthesis are multifunctional enzyme complex.